So this week was our first week of class, and wow. My program is teaching French to international students, foreign students. So everybody is from all over. There's Americans, Australians, Turks, people from Japan, China, Taiwan, all over the world, all here to learn French. And we were divided into groups, and obviously we take our classes with people who are at a similar level. So I'm on the upper intermediate level, so I think that's good for me. That was pretty much what I was expecting based on how much French I know. But 100% of every class I'm taking is in French. Every minute of every class is in French. You can't ask any questions in English because not even all of the students know English. You literally are there to listen to French and speak French. So this has been a pretty crazy experience for me even just this week so far, because I'm used to taking one French class per semester, and I think it's only during university that all my classes were 100% in French, because in high school we spoke English about half the time. Half of the instruction was probably taught in English and half in French. So I'm used to about 3 hours of French per week, and that's like listening to French, speaking French. Like outside of class at university, I wouldn't get to use my French, I wouldn't practice it, I wouldn't hear it. So I'm going from that to literally a full immersion, because obviously every store we go to, every restaurant, we try to speak French and, you know, order as much in French as possible, but they tend to like hear our accents and like give us American menus. And then in my classes, I have like 3-hour classes that are all French. So it's 3 hours of me sitting there like, or maybe once in a while, je comprends. Jesus. It's just so mentally exhausting to have to actively translate things and have such a problem or a struggle like to speak or ask questions, because obviously in your native language you don't even think about it. But literally these classes are so tiring because you have to pay attention every second or you'll get lost if you zone out for a second. So yeah, and I'm not used to classes that long. My classes back in New Orleans were literally 50 minutes, an hour 20 max, other than like my 3-hour directing class. So it's really hard for me to focus in like that block of a time. I definitely think my brain works better in shorter things, and then I get to move on to a different subject. But anyway, this is just how this works. So I some days have like 3 to like 6 or 7 hours of all French instruction. And a lot of that, about half of that, is completely just like language, like practicing language, oral comprehension, writing, phonetics. And then we do have some like elective-y things that are interesting but also difficult to comprehend. Like I went to a French business class and I was like, what are all these words? I don't know any business vocabulary in French. So it's been a major learning curve. But also it's the first week. I know that it'll get easier. I know that I'll get a lot better, because it's not like I completely understand nothing. I understand, it depends on the teacher and the class, but I'm understanding most of it, or at least getting the general sense. And once I'm acclimated to it and used to hearing French so often, hearing French and speaking it more often, I'm sure I'm gonna get 100% better. So that is exciting, but it's hard. This is not an easy, like, blow off study abroad program. I think studying abroad in a different language is a completely different story, but I don't know, it depends.